Get ready for the news that is shaking up entertainment and history right now. We start with a look back at 1985, when Paramount unwrapped their board game adaptation of Clue. We dive into the details of this Paramount release from writer-director Jonathan Lynn, exploring how this film, which only claimed $14 million initially, but built a huge cult following, managed to deliver some seriously delicious comic red herrings for holiday movie season.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we turn our attention to the ever-evolving world of technology and creativity. Demi Moore has weighed in on the massive debate surrounding artificial intelligence. She shares her perspective on how Hollywood should approach AI, arguing that finding ways to work with it is the smarter path forward. But she firmly states that AI can never replace the genuine human experience or the soul that drives true art. The spotlight now shifts to Hollywood drama and legal battles. Damon and Ben Affleck's production company is facing a serious defamation lawsuit from two Miami-Dade police officers. We break down the claims made by sheriff's deputies Jonathan Santana and Jason Smith, who allege that the action film The Rip inaccurately portrayed their real-life experiences, causing substantial reputational harm. And finally, we look at a landmark decision for Hollywood's iconic landmarks. The Cinerama Dome is taking a major step toward reopening in the near future. We examine the city hearing where Tim Fargo indicated he was inclined to approve the conditional use permit, signaling a hopeful timeline for this historic venue to bring life back to Hollywood. Paramount's 1985 board game adaptation of Clue hit theaters during the holiday season, earning a cult following despite an initial box office return of only $14 million. The film, directed by Jonathan Lynn, has been noted for its farcical approach to the classic mystery. Channel YouTube's original review highlighted the movie as a flawed but entertaining offering, acknowledging that it provided delicious comic red herrings rather than a perfect Christmas movie. The setting is a dank 1954 New England mansion where a dinner party of suspects, including Mrs. Peacock, Prof. Plum, Mrs. White, Mr. Green, Miss Scarlet, and Call Mustard, becomes entangled in blackmail by the seedy Mr. Body. 5 murders occur, leaving even the butler uncertain of the culprit. Lynn's direction is characterized by a frantic pitch, often resembling a live-action cartoon, employing rapid-fire sight gags and witty dialogue, with elements reminiscent of William Castle's style, notably the triple-ending gimmick. However, critics pointed out that the film struggled to maintain its high level of invention, occasionally resorting to Three Stooges-style humor, which was sometimes hampered by unimaginative direction and flat cinematography that undermined the eerie atmosphere. Despite these shortcomings, the cast delivered strong performances, with Eileen Brennan as the hysterical Peacock and Tim Curry lending music hall verve as the butler. The production was enhanced by mock Victorian sets, a tongue-in-cheek score, and ingenious costume design. Ultimately, the review concluded that while it may not be a masterpiece, the film succeeds as a spirited, if uneven, take on the concept, suggesting it is superior to a mere film version of Trivial Pursuit. Demi Moore has weighed in on the ongoing debate surrounding artificial intelligence in the film industry, asserting that the industry should focus on collaboration rather than resistance. Speaking with Variety at the 2026 Cannes Film Festival Jury Press Conference on Tuesday, Moore addressed questions about the impact of AI and the need for regulation. When asked about the challenges posed by AI, the 63-year-old Oscar nominee stated, "Wow, that's a big question. I think the reality is that to resist, I always feel that againstness breeds againstness. AI is here. And so to fight it is to fight something that is a battle that we will lose. So to find ways in which we can work with it, I think, is a more valuable path to take." Moore also addressed concerns regarding industry protection, admitting uncertainty about current safeguards. She commented, "To your question of, are we doing enough to protect ourselves? I don't know the answer to that. And so my inclination would be to say probably not. Despite advocating for collaboration, Moore firmly stated her belief that AI cannot supplant human creativity. She emphasized that what AI cannot replicate is the essence of true art, which stems from the soul rather than the physical. The truth is there really isn't anything to fear because what it can never replace is what true art comes from, which is not the physical, it comes from the soul, she explained. She concluded by noting that genuine artistic creation originates from the collective spirit of every creator, something that technical means cannot replicate. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's production company, Artists Equity, is facing a defamation lawsuit from two Miami-Dade police officers who allege that their action film, The Rip, improperly blends fictional elements with factual details from their real-life experiences, causing significant reputational damage. The suit was filed on May 7 by Miami-Dade Sheriff's deputies Jonathan Santana and Jason Smith, claiming that the film portrays them as dirty cops in relation to a series of 2016 drug busts in South Florida. The film, an action thriller about Miami narcotics officers consumed by greed, draws inspiration from the account of Miami-Dade County Police Captain Chris Cassiano, a friend of director Joe Carnahan. The narrative centers on a narcotics team discovering millions in cash during a raid, leading to internal conflict and erosion of trust among the squad. The movie was released on Netflix in January to positive reviews. Santana and Smith contend that depictions of events during the 2016 drug busts are inaccurate and damaging. The lawsuit seeks compensatory and punitive damages, attorney fees, a public retraction, and a correction. The deputies allege that Artists Equity failed to compensate Santana, Smith, and other officers involved in the real case as consultants, instead paying a different member of the force. In promotion, Damon, Affleck, and Carnahan maintain that The Rip is based on a real-life case. The Miami Lakes drug case, fictionalized, involved approximately $20 million seized after cash was found in an attic. Santana was the lead detective on the actual case, and Smith was the supervising sergeant. The deputies claim the film's details closely mirror their experiences, impacting their daily lives. Santana has publicly commented on the film's reception, noting that colleagues have questioned him about theft, stating, "When you rip something, you're stealing something." Artists Equity's legal representative, Leda Walker, responded to the plaintiff's demand letter, asserting that the film does not purport to tell the true story or portray real individuals, noting that this fact is clearly stated in the film's credits. A city hearing regarding on-site alcohol sales provided a public forum on Tuesday morning to voice opinions on the potential reopening of the Cinerama Dome and ArcLight Hollywood. While a final determination letter is pending, Tim Fargo, the associate zoning administrator overseeing the meeting, indicated an inclination to approve the conditional use permit under consideration. This permit would encompass the Cinerama Dome, 14 adjacent auditoriums, and a restaurant-cafe featuring 2 outdoor spaces. The Cinerama Dome closed in March 2020 due to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, with plans for reopening being announced as unlikely in April 2021. However, film enthusiasts in Los Angeles and globally remain hopeful that the venue, viewed as an icon of Hollywood, could return. During the hearing, Elizabeth Peterson-Gower, a land use consultant representing the owner, Dome Center LLC, was questioned about a reopening timeline. Peterson-Gower stated she did not have a schedule but promised to provide one when available. In a subsequent phone interview, she described the conditional use permit approval as a milestone and noted that ownership has observed the intense public interest, suggesting it would inspire a time frame in the near future. Other attendees expressed strong support for the venue's return. Ted Walker, planning deputy for Council District 13, emphasized the community's desire to revitalize vacant historic cultural monuments, stating that resuming operations would enhance Hollywood's vibrancy. Burbank City Council member Constantine Anthony, a former Dome usher, also voiced his support. More than 30 individuals provided public comment, including Kat Kramer, daughter of filmmaker Stanley Kramer, film critic Wade Major, and Ben Steinberg, who led a grassroots reopening campaign. Some commenters voiced frustration over the delays, questioning potential motives behind the closure and expressing concerns about ownership keeping heritage hostage. Preservation advocate Kim Cooper countered this sentiment, asserting that the situation is not a conflict between citizens and ownership, but a collective desire to collaborate on bringing the venue back. Peterson Gower shared her personal connection to the venue, having been involved in events there in the late 1980s and early 1990s. She concluded by expressing satisfaction with the public feedback, believing it demonstrated a deep appreciation for the historic property and a passionate desire for its continued operation. All indicators suggest the conditional use permit will be granted, paving the way for the project to advance.